All right, imagine this. You're standing in the pouring rain, outside the hospital entrance, clutching a crumpled piece of paper in your hand. The ink is starting to bleed, but you can still make out the words, "Patient critical. Come immediately." Your heart is pounding like a drum in your chest, and you can't help but think, how did we get here? Just yesterday, you and Emma were laughing in the kitchen, dancing around the island as you both tried to cook dinner together. You'd known each other since you were kids, grown up together, shared every secret, every dream. You'd seen her at her worst and she'd seen you at yours. But lately, something had shifted. You'd started seeing her in a different light, the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed, the soft curve of her neck when she tilted her head. You'd pushed those feelings aside, chalking them up to the familiarity of a lifelong friendship. And then it happened, a moment that changed everything. You were watching a movie, sharing a bowl of popcorn, when suddenly Emma leaned in and kissed you. It wasn't a friendly peck on the cheek. It was a real, lingering kiss that sent electricity coursing through your veins. You pulled away, shocked, and saw the same surprise reflected in her eyes. Neither of you spoke about it. You both just sat there, stunned, as the movie played on, unnoticed. The next day, everything felt different. You couldn't look at her without remembering the kiss, without feeling that jolt of emotion. You tried to act normal, but it was like trying to put a genie back in the bottle. The tension was palpable, and you could see it was tearing Emma apart too. She was distant, lost in thought, and you couldn't help but feel like you were losing her. That's when the call came. Emma had been in an accident. The details were hazy, but the message was clear. She needed you. You rushed to the hospital, your mind racing with a million thoughts. What if you never got the chance to talk about what happened? What if you never got to tell her how you really felt? As you stood there in the rain, the crumpled paper in your hand, you realized that one kiss had changed everything. And now you were about to find out just how much. You rushed through the sterile, fluorescent-lit hallways, your heart pounding in your ears. The nurse at the reception desk directs you to Emma's room, her expression grave. As you approach the door, you see her parents huddled together, their faces pale and worried. They look up as you enter, and the sheer relief in their eyes makes your stomach churn. They know about the kiss, or at least they know something's changed between you two. But now isn't the time for that conversation. Emma is lying on the bed, her usually vibrant face pale and bruised. She's hooked up to machines that beep and whir, a constant reminder of the fragility of life. You take her hand, and it's cold, too cold. You want to wrap her in your arms, keep her warm, keep her safe. But all you can do is sit there, holding her hand, hoping she knows you're there. Her mom leans over and whispers, "She was on her way to see you, Alex. She was distracted, didn't see the car." Her voice trails off, choked with tears. You feel a pang of guilt, a sharp stab in your chest. If you hadn't pulled away, if you hadn't left things unsaid, maybe she wouldn't have been so distracted. Maybe she wouldn't be here, fighting for her life. You lean in, your lips close to her ear, and you start to talk. You tell her about the kiss, about how it made you feel, about how you've been feeling for weeks now. You tell her you're sorry for pulling away, for not having the courage to face what was happening between you. You tell her you love her, not just as a friend, but as something more, something you can't quite define yet. You tell her she needs to come back, to fight, to give you both a chance to figure this out. As you're talking, you feel a slight squeeze on your hand. You look down, and Emma's eyes are fluttering open. She's weak, so weak, but she's trying to smile. Her lips move, and you lean in closer to hear. "Me too," she whispers, her voice barely audible. "I love you too, Alex." It's like a dam breaks open. all the emotions you've been holding back come rushing out. You're crying, laughing, holding her hand like it's the most precious thing in the world. Because it is. Because she is. And in that moment, you know, no matter what happens next, everything has changed. Again. Days turn into weeks. Emma's recovery is slow, but she's a fighter. She goes from the ICU to a regular room, from a bedridden patient to someone who can sit up and laugh at your terrible jokes. You're by her side every step of the way, and with each passing day, the bond between you grows stronger. You talk about everything and nothing, just like you used to, but now there's an undercurrent of something more. One day, as you're sitting by her bedside, Emma looks at you, her eyes serious. "Alex, I need to tell you something," she says, her voice still weak but determined. You brace yourself, unsure of what's coming. "I knew," she continues. "I knew I had feelings for you even before the kiss. I was just too scared to admit it." You're taken aback. All this time you thought it was just you, that you were the one harboring these secret feelings. But Emma felt it too. You think back to all the moments, all the signs you missed. The way she'd look at you when she thought you weren't paying attention, the way she'd find excuses to touch your hand, to be close to you. It was all there, hiding in plain sight. But there's more. Emma takes a deep breath and drops another bombshell. "I was on my way to tell you that day, Alex. I was coming to tell you that I love you, that I want to be with you, not just as friends, but as more." Her voice trails off and she looks at you, her eyes filled with hope and fear. You're stunned. All this time you thought the kiss was a spontaneous, impulsive moment, but it was more than that. It was a confession, an admission of feelings that ran deeper than you ever imagined. You feel a rush of emotions, joy, relief, fear, excitement. You take her hand, look into her eyes, and say the words you've been holding back for so long. "I love you too, Emma. I want to be with you too." Just as you say that, there's a knock on the door. You turn to see Emma's parents, their faces a mix of concern and acceptance. They've heard your conversation, seen the way you two look at each other. They know there's no going back to just being friends. And they're here to support you, to support both of you, no matter what. It's a turning point, a moment of acceptance and love that you never expected. But then again, nothing about your journey with Emma has been expected. And that's what makes it so beautiful, so terrifying, so utterly yours. As you leave the hospital that day, hand in hand with Emma, you can't help but think back to that rainy night when you stood outside, clutching that crumpled piece of paper. You had no idea what was coming, no idea how much one kiss could change everything. But now you know, and you wouldn't have it any other way. But little do you know, this is just the beginning. The real test of your love story is yet to come, and it's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself, about Emma, about love. As you step out into the sunlight, you take a deep breath, ready to face whatever comes next, because you know, no matter what, you have Emma by your side, and that's all that matters. But if only it were that simple, if only love was enough to conquer all, you're about to find out that sometimes love is just the beginning of the battle, and this battle is one you never saw coming. You walk towards the car, Emma leaning on you for support. You open the door for her, help her in, and just as you're about to close the door, you hear someone call your name. You turn around and standing there, looking as shocked as you feel, is your ex. The one person you never wanted to see again. The one person who could ruin everything. And suddenly, you're not so sure about that happily ever after anymore. Suddenly, you're not so sure about anything. Because that's the thing about love. It's unpredictable. It's messy. It's beautiful and terrifying and everything in between, and your love story with Emma is all that and more. But you're not giving up. Not now, not ever, because you know deep down that this is worth fighting for, that Emma is worth fighting for. And so the battle begins. The battle for your love, for your happiness, for your future, and you're ready to face whatever comes your way because you have Emma, and together you can face anything. Or at least, that's what you think, that's what you hope, because the truth is, you have no idea what's coming. You have no idea how much your love is about to be tested. But that's a story for another time. For now, you have this moment, this perfect, imperfect moment with Emma, and that's enough. That's everything. Or so you think. You drive home in silence, Emma's hand in yours, your mind racing with a million thoughts. You can't stop thinking about your ex, about the look on their face when they saw you with Emma. You thought you had moved on, that you had left that part of your life behind. But seeing them today brought back a flood of memories, of emotions you thought you had buried. As you pull into the driveway, Emma turns to you, her eyes filled with concern. "Alex, what's wrong?" she asks, her voice gentle but probing. You sigh, knowing you can't keep this from her. You tell her about your ex, about how they broke your heart, about how they made you feel like you weren't enough. You tell her about the fear that's been gnawing at you since you saw them today, the fear that they could ruin what you and Emma have. Emma listens, her expression softening. She takes your hand, squeezes it tightly. "Alex, I'm not going anywhere," she says, her voice firm and steady. "I love you, and I'm not going to let anyone, not even your ex, come between us." You feel a wave of relief wash over you. Emma's words are like a balm, soothing your fears, calming your anxieties. You lean in, kiss her softly, a promise of your love, of your commitment. But even as you do, you can't shake the feeling of unease, the sense that something is about to go wrong. And sure enough, it does. The next day, you wake up to a barrage of messages on your phone. Messages from your ex, from mutual friends, from people you haven't spoken to in years. You open them, your heart sinking with each word you read. Your ex has gone public with your past, with your story, with your love for Emma. They've twisted the truth, painted you in a bad light, made Emma out to be the other woman. You're shocked, hurt, angry, but more than anything, you're scared. Scared of what this will do to Emma, to your relationship, to your future. You turn to Emma, expecting to see the same fear reflected in her eyes. But instead, you see determination. She's not scared, she's not backing down, she's ready to fight. "We're not going to let them win, Alex," she says, her voice fierce. "We're not going to let them define our story, our love. We're going to fight back. We're going to tell our truth." And so you do. You take to social media, you write blog posts, you make videos, you tell your story, your truth, your love for Emma. You talk about the kiss, about the accident, about the journey you've been on. You talk about the fear, the joy, the pain, the love. You hold nothing back, and the response is overwhelming. Messages of support pour in from all over the world. People share their own stories, their own journeys, their own battles for love. You're touched, humbled, inspired. You realize that your story is not just yours, but a universal one. A story of love, of courage, of fighting for what you believe in. But even as you're buoyed by the support, you know the battle is far from over. Your ex is not going to give up so easily, and they're about to play their final card, the one that could change everything. One day, you come home to find Emma sitting on the couch, her face pale, her hands shaking. She's holding her phone, looking at something on the screen. You rush to her side, your heart pounding. "What is it?" you ask, dreading the answer. She turns to you, her eyes filled with tears. "It's a video, Alex," she says, her voice barely a whisper. "A video of us, of the kiss, of everything." You're stunned. You can't believe it. Your ex had been spying on you, recording you, invading your privacy. And now they've put it all out there for the world to see. You feel violated, betrayed, angry. But more than anything, you feel scared. Scared of what this will do to Emma, to your relationship, to your future. You take Emma's hand, look into her eyes. "We're going to get through this, Emma," you say, your voice steady and sure. "We're going to fight back. We're going to tell our truth. And we're going to come out stronger." And so, you prepare for the final battle. The battle for your love, for your happiness, for your future. You're ready, ready to face whatever comes your way, because you have Emma. And together, you can face anything. Or at least, that's what you think. That's what you hope. Because the truth is, you have no idea what's coming. You have no idea how much your love is about to be tested. But that's the thing about love. It's unpredictable. It's messy. It's beautiful and terrifying and everything in between. And your love story with Emma is all that and more. And as you sit there, holding Emma's hand, looking into her eyes, you know, no matter what happens next, no matter what challenges come your way, you're ready. Ready to fight, ready to love, ready to live your truth, because you have Emma, and that's all that matters. That's everything. But little do you know, the real test is yet to come. The one that will challenge everything you thought you knew about love, about yourself, about Emma. The one that will make you question everything, and it's coming sooner than you think. You take a deep breath, steeling yourself for what's to come. You and Emma decide to face the storm head-on, to address the video publicly and honestly. You record your own video, explaining the context, the love, the journey. You talk about consent, about privacy, about the violation you both feel. You pour your hearts out, holding nothing back. And then you hit upload. The response is immediate and overwhelming. Support pours in from every corner of the internet. People are outraged on your behalf, disgusted by the invasion of your privacy, touched by your love story. The video goes viral, sparking conversations about consent, about love, about the right to privacy. You're humbled, grateful, and more determined than ever to fight for your love. But just as you're starting to feel like you're gaining ground, another bombshell drops. Your ex releases a statement, a twisted version of events that paints you and Emma in a horrific light. They accuse you of manipulation, of deceit, of using Emma for personal gain. They even go so far as to question the authenticity of your relationship, claiming that it's all a publicity stunt. You're shocked, horrified, angry. But this time you're not scared. This time you're ready. You and Emma stand united, your love stronger than ever. You decide to take legal action to fight back against the lies and the hate. It's a long, grueling process, filled with depositions, court hearings, and endless paperwork. But you're determined to see it through, to clear your names, to protect your love. And then, finally, after months of battling, the truth comes out. Your ex's lies are exposed, their manipulations laid bare for the world to see. The court rules in your favor, granting you the justice you deserve. The media, once a source of anxiety and fear, now celebrates your victory, your love story, your courage. You and Emma stand on the courthouse steps, hand in hand, facing a sea of reporters. You look into her eyes, seeing the love, the strength, the resilience that has carried you both through this storm. And you know in that moment that you've won. not just the legal battle, but the battle for your love, for your future, for your truth. But the story doesn't end there. Because love, true love, is never just about the big battles, the grand gestures, the dramatic moments. It's about the everyday, the quiet moments, the simple joys. It's about choosing each other every day through the good and the bad, the easy and the hard. And so, you and Emma build your life together. You move in together, start a family, create a home filled with love and laughter. You face challenges, sure, but you face them together. You support each other, lift each other up, love each other fiercely and completely. And every time you look at Emma, every time you see her smile, hear her laugh, feel her touch, you're reminded of that kiss. That one kiss that changed everything. That one kiss that set you on this journey, that brought you to this love, this life, this happiness. You think back to that rainy night, to the fear, the uncertainty, the not knowing, and you smile because now you know that love is worth fighting for. You know that love can conquer anything. You know that love, true love, is the most powerful force in the world. And so, as you stand there, hand in hand with Emma, looking out at the life you've built together, you can't help but feel a sense of awe, of gratitude, of wonder. Because this is your love story. This is your journey. This is your happily ever after. And it all started with one kiss. One beautiful, wonderful, life-changing kiss. So, if you're watching this and you're feeling inspired, if you're feeling the love, the courage, the determination, then hit that subscribe button. Stick around for more stories of love, of life, of the journeys we all take. And don't forget to watch our other videos, to share your own stories in the comments, to be a part of this community of love and support. Because your story matters. Your love matters, and together we can change the world, one kiss, one love story at a time. So, until next time, keep loving, keep fighting, keep living your truth, because you never know when one kiss, one moment, one decision can change everything, just like it did for us.